Give it up once again for Rula. I'm excited to hear what our next presenter has to say because the bio I received earlier today about him put me in mind of E.B. White's quote, explaining a joke is like dissecting a frog. You understand it better, but the frog dies in the process. But I think Joe Ryan is about to explain that that's all in the name of science. Joe Ryan is a college lab rat. He's a scientist, a trade show exhibit builder, potentially famous comedian. He studies the science of comedy and looks for ways to provide value to others in a helpful story. Give it up for Joe Ryan.
My job is a scientist.
You will forget this movie. My friend Anthony hyped this movie up. He wanted me to watch all the prediction videos, all the reviews, all the teasers. I went and saw it with him in the theater, and I thought it stunk. It was horrible. The Last Jedi, I just wasn't a fan. It had like all these forgettable characters, like the Stormtrooper guy, the female main lead, and the movie before this one set up all these stories and all these plots, and then they got a new director, and then it didn't matter at all. I was like, why? Why would you do that? And now you're probably wondering, like, why am I getting fired up about some pointless movie? Well, maybe movies are not your thing, but maybe it's sports instead. You know, the Bears, they should have won that game last week. It's their big anniversary game. And they lost to the Packers? Like, come on. Like, that player stunk. That guy missed the catch. Like, oh, you just get so fired up sometimes. We're just wired to hit that complain button all the time. To complain, to criticize. And I don't know if it's a symptom of our capitalistic society. We pay for things, and then when they're not up to par, we just start complaining right away. We start criticizing. We just get disappointed. What if, instead, we all chose, right now in this room, to never complain or criticize again, ever? How about that? We would choose kindness as our natural reaction of being nice, of hearing out a point. Being kind in the chaos of today's world will pay you dividends. And today I want to simplify the whole process with this equation. E plus R equals O. An event happens, plus your response equals the outcome. And I want to share a story where I changed my response. And I'm going to call the story a Chaotic Sunday at Jewel Osco Gone Wrong. In today's world, we're rushing everywhere. We're rushing to get to work on time. We're rushing to drop the kids off. We're rushing to get the errands done because everything's closed on the weekends. So because of that, one thing I really enjoyed doing was meal prepping. You know, you got the opportunity to be healthy. You bought all your food for the week. You cooked it all in one day, and then you had meals for the whole week. So no matter how busy you got, you at least had a meal prepared and ready to go. Except for one Sunday, I just was slacking. I wanted to sleep in, and sure enough, time flies by, and you're like, I don't have my food, which means I can't cook my meals, which means I'm going to fall behind for the whole week. I got other stuff to do now. This is part of my routine. So I rushed out of the house to Jewel Osco. I was on a mission to get in and get out. And so I grabbed all the stuff I needed. I went up and down the aisles like any male would, and I got the heck out of the store right away, in and out. And as I was packing my car to go, I decided to shove the shopping cart away from me. Maybe I thought it would save some time, but I just shoved it away from me. And I was in my car getting ready to go, and lo and behold, we had a runaway shopping cart. I was right about to leave the lot, and I looked over at that cart return again. The shopping cart was not in it. It was against somebody's car. Now, I remember the car looked like some generic, Honda Accord or something. Nothing spectacular, but the shopping cart was right flush against that rear passenger door and not in the cart return. And I didn't see any damage, but I realized, no, this is probably my fault. I didn't see it happen, but it was probably my fault. I got on my car, and an old man gets out of this Honda. You young kids are always in a hurry. What were you thinking? What were you doing? I can't believe it. I was like, I don't really see any damage. Don't see any damage. This car's never been in an accident. I've had it since '08, and I've done all the repairs myself. I realized right away that this reaction was going to get me nowhere. It didn't matter that I didn't see any damage. To him, this car was the most important thing in the whole world. He was more important than I was in this situation. So I decided to change my response. I said, you know what, sir? You're right. How could I be so careless? How could I be so young and dumb? You know, I won't ever happen again. I'll pay for all the damages. Here's my contact information. I'm truly sorry to trouble you on this Sunday. And do you need anything else? And he said, no. And I got in my car and I got the heck out of there. I've never been in a situation like that before. But it was probably the day I realized that, hey, now you're an adult. I wanted to forget about the whole thing. And I would have, except a couple days later, I got a call from an unknown number. Is this Joe Ryan? Yes? I stopped. And then I remembered the voice. I flashed back to that Jewel Osco parking lot. My heart was racing. This was it. Time to pay up. Time to own up to your mistakes. I just wanted to let you know that you're the nicest young person I ever met. And I already fixed everything and you don't have to pay for any of the damages. What? Can you say that one more time? Wow, thank you, sir. And I felt like I was on top of the whole world. I could accomplish anything. I changed my response to one interaction, and it changed the whole outcome. I just let that old man know that he was more important than me. And so I want to bring up that equation one more time. E plus R equals O. An event happens, an accident at a Jewel Osco, plus your response, hopefully kindness, equals the outcome, hopefully positive. So change your responses. Be nice.
Oh, you fuckers. What do you mean you want another presentation?
What a nice guy. Good job.
How was that, Joe?
The Burbs, you know? Very good. Nicely done. Yeah, I was born on the south
Joel, want
side.
some more?
I went to a Catholic school until
Yeah.
I was about
And we've
9.
got one more, then we're going to have a beer break. And so next up is Tom
That's
Jacobs.
my life, a fake country boy.
He's been on this hallowed,
Yeah.
I don't know, 18-inch square spot before. He's a principal with Crook and Saxon Architects. He's a teacher at IIT College of Architecture. Aren't we supposed to say Illinois Tech now? Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Has that been nice?